Hello friends, welcome back. So in this step, we are going to configure the S2 database. But before that, we need to understand what is the S2 database. So S2 database is the in-memory database. So what do you mean by in-memory database? So in-memory database is basically relies on the system memory, right? It's basically stored on the RAM. So once the in-memory database is basically are embedded in a database, and it's volatile in nature. So all the stored data will get lost once you restart the application. So what is the purpose of S2 database? So S2 database is beneficial, okay, when you are just writing an application, okay, and instead of creating a hard coded value with the test cases like JUnit or Mockito, where you just mock the object, you can use the in-memory database for the test cases. And another is to keep a POC, or first you will be using the in-memory database, then you can thereafter you can convert this into the other database like MySQL or the Oracle database. So here you will be persisting the data into the in-memory. So there is some difference between the persistent and the in-memory. So data persistence is somewhere it's going into the physical location, okay, but in the case of the in memory, it is stored in the primary memory, okay, like persistent is like Oracle, MySQL or Postgres as the persistence database. But in the case of S2, it's a in memory database, and it gets stored in the system memory. Okay, so let's start configuring the S2 database. Okay, so in Spring Boot, configuring the S2 database is very easy. Just you need to add the dependency and see the magic of how the Spring Boot is auto configuring all the configuration, right? So go to the pom.xml, okay, and here you need to add two things. Okay, we are going to add, first is the S2 database dependency, and another is Spring Data JPA dependency that we are going to use, right? So let's see that and use that. Okay, so we can go to the either Maven repository, and if you have an idea, you can directly add over here. So let's see, Control C and Control V, and we have to add the in-memory S2 database. So what is the group ID will be in memory database? com.s2 database, right? And the artifact will be the h2 only, h2, and the scope will be the runtime, right? Runtime. So this will be done for the h2 database configuration. Now we have to add for the Spring Data JPA to use the JPA we are going to use. So let me add the Spring Data JPA dependency as well, right? So how you need to add? So you can go to the Maven repository, okay, and here you can type Spring Data JPA, right? So anything you can type over here. If you need that, click over here. We need this one, Spring Boot Starter Data JPA. It looks like slow. Yeah, take any of the version. So take the latest one, 2.4.2, okay, and you can copy this, Control C, come over here, okay, and you can paste this, Control S. So if you are doing for the first time, it will take some time to download the dependency. Okay, and thereafter, okay, once this is done, so you don't need to do the anything. That's all you require to add the dependency, and rest thing will be taken care by the Spring Boot, right? So moreover, what you can do, okay, if you see, suppose if you want to see the whatever the query that you have executed, okay, it should show on the your console, right? So for that only you can, what you can do, you can configure over here in application.property. So what you can do, you can do spring dot jpa. Okay, it's still downloading, so wait for some time. Yeah, so it's completed. So now let's configure for spring dot jpa dot show sql. So sql is equal to true. What it will do, it will, whatever the query you are getting executed, okay, it will show on the console, right? And one more thing, you will have to, by default S2 console is disabled. What is the S2 console? I will show you. So first mark the true of S2 console. So spring dot S2 dot console dot enabled, okay, is equal to true. So by default, if this intelligence is auto correction is not coming, what you can do, you can just install, you can just go to the marketplace and install the Spring Toolkit, and it should be okay, right? So this is done, right? So let's start this application, okay, and see the magic of your Spring Boot, how it's auto configuring the S2 database, how the S2 console will get appear over here. Okay, so let's run this. So let's see the log. See, by default it's used the Hikari pool starting. Hikari pool started complicated, so completed. So if you see here, S2 console available at st-console, and this will be the password of the memory, right? And if you see here, Hibernate ORM core, we have added the Spring Data JPA, so we are using the Hibernate internally 5.4.25 version, right? And this is the default configuration. It has started using that. We have not configured this, right? The Spring Boot has done for us, right? And this is the beauty of the Spring Boot JPA and the S2 database that are taken care by the Spring Boot application. So let's see, and let's try to see the S2 console. So go to the Chrome. Okay, our application is running on 8082 port, right? If you see here, where on which port our application is running, 8082 port, right? Tomcat started on 8082. So here what you can do, http localhost 8082, and what you need to do, you need to add this one, right? S2 console. So 8082, right? It's running on 8082. It's not on 8081, it's on 8082, right? If you see, it's connecting to the S2 database, okay, and this is the console. Like we have worked on the SQL developer, the UI to connect to the MySQL database or Oracle database, and if you have used the PL SQL developer tool that is also to connect to the in-memory database. So if you see here, this is the your your UI which connects, right? And if you want to connect, you just do the test connection. It will show database not found, either pre-create or allows remote database creation in secure environment. So that's why if you still try to connect, it will not able to connect, right? So what you need to do in JDBC URL, you can go to the log and you need to copy this, right? This one, right? Copy this, Control C, this 63, and you need to paste over here. So this is the in-memory database, right? So every time when you are restarting the server, this JDBC URL will get changed. Now do the test connection. Test successful, right? And then connect. So this is the database you got created here. You can execute any query from here. This is the UI of the in-memory database. If you see here, there is no table created so far. Okay, in a user, in a admin. So we will be creating the table using the annotation entity class, using the Spring Data JPA. But for now, you just to learn how you can connect to the H2 console. If you are not mentioning this configuration over here, Spring H2 console enabled, you want to be able to access this page, H2 console page, right? So for now we have not created any table, so the user defined table is not available over here. So once we create table, all the table or objects, DB objects will get appear over here, and you can execute any command from here, any SQL query execute from here. We'll see all these things, but for now you need to learn this how you can configure. So assume currently what we saw, every time if you are restarting the application, okay, then your JDBC URL will have different one, right? So go to the console again. Where is console? Yeah, if you see the console, so this dialect will be changed every time. So let me stop this application and show you, and go to the here and refresh this. Okay, confirm. So it will not able to, it will show the page not found, right? The site cannot be reached, right? So what we need to do, again we will restart this, right? So earlier if you see here, the main dialect was B63 and all, right? So let's restart this. Okay, if you see this time, okay, it got created with different one. So copy this, okay, Control C, okay, refresh, continue. Okay, if you do the test connection, it will get failed, you won't be able to connect. So what, every time you will have to add this, right? And thereafter you will have to test connection and connect. Okay, so but you don't want to do this, right? So you will have to do the configuration for that. You don't want to change the dialect of every time whenever you are rebooting the application, right? It does not mean, okay, it will not erase your data will be erased, because data will be created in in-memory database, in a system memory, maybe in the RAM, right? So this will ensure the dialect is not getting changed, your configuration are not getting changed. So how you can do that? Okay, let me show you. And including the configuration, suppose in a user, the username and password, if you see here, let me show you. It was SA by default. So what you need to, if you change the configuration over here, right? So you don't want to use the default username and password, yeah, and you don't want to default use the H2, right? If you want to use the Oracle or MySQL, what will you do, right? So there will be some configuration that you need to make, right? So let me show you how you can do that also, so that later on you don't require to go through again. So what you can do over here, Spring dot data source, right? Data source dot URL, data source dot URL, right? And equal to use the same that we have used over here, right? In here, JDBC connection that we used, right? The same one, or you can take it from the console. Sorry, take it from the console, right? So here you can use this. So let's take this min, okay, and from here control C, sorry, go to the code, paste, and instead of this let's put test db, right? This will be your data source URL. I am changing, right? And spring dot data source, another configuration what you can do, spring dot data source dot driver class name, right? Driver class name. Driver class name is equal to org dot h2 dot driver. So just I am showing you, if you are not mentioning this, this will be already done by the Spring Boot. So I am just giving you the configuration or telling you the configuration where if you want to connect with the other database like Oracle or MySQL or Postgres, you need to just change the parameter, right? So this is the same. I'm connecting to the H2 database. I'm mentioning that parameter, even though I'm not mentioning, the Spring Boot is doing for us for the H2 database, right? So Spring. So suppose you want to change the username and password, you want to configure over here, right? So Spring dot data source, right? Username. So username is SA, right? And Spring dot data source dot password, leave it password blank for now, right? And thereafter I want to connect with the Hibernate also, right? So Spring dot jpa database platform, right, is equal to org dot Hibernate, let it come, Hibernate dot dialect dot h2 dialect. That's it. Okay, and close this application, okay, and run this again. I've shut down the application. I am running again. Okay, so now this time it gives some error. What error it giving? Deploy the condition report during the application with DK application unable to start web server nested exception, application context unable to start immediate Tomcat. See the what is the error coming. Here creating bin with data source. Yeah, something is wrong with the data source that we have configured, right? H2 console through an application. Okay, there is some issue. Let's go and check the application dot properties file, right? Spring dot data source dot URL JDBC colon h2 colon mem colon test db, right? Spring driver class name driver here. It's not like this driver class name, it's dot driver. It should be driver class name CLASSNAME, right? Why it's taking this hyphen? Should not take, right? It should be N and that C should be caps, right? And thereafter control S and terminate this and run again, right? Now it should be removed the error. Okay, now see, GP entity manager all got initialized. I have not running on 8082. Okay, now if you see here, this thing is getting right, so it will not get changed. So this database will not get changed every time. So earlier it was getting changed, right? So now let's connect the S2 database again. Refresh this, continue. Okay, let it come. Okay, so if you see here, test connection again, this is throwing, so we'll have to put the test db again, right? db test db, and now test connection and connect. Still it's not, the test db should appear over here instead of manually changing, right? And it should get connected. Okay, so we will have to do the configuration for that also. Okay, to make it permanent. So we'll see in the next step how you can do that, and we will create an entity class to store and create the data in a database. So we'll be creating a table over here using the annotation entity, and we will be creating some test data, and we'll perform the application operations, right? So let's see and see in the next step. So if you have a time, see you in the next step. Bye bye.